Hello everyone, I'm back again. This painting, even though it looks nice, had the silicone dropped on the canvas first, and I had a heck of a time trying to cover it up, and it just ruined the painting. I don't know if you can tell it, but I tried to fix it. So it's a do-over deal. I'm going to try to make fire. I tried it in the last session, and my yellow was more of a gold, and it didn't pop the way I wanted it to. So I mixed up some Darcie bright yellow. I've got neon orange, DecoArt Americana True Red, basic Darcie black. Those are the only colors. 2 out of these 4 have Dimethcone in them. Okay, I'm needing additional supplies here. I need wax paper, because I'm going to do a reverse dip. If you've seen my other 3 videos, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about, or you can just watch this one and see how it's a reverse. I've got another tray beside me to put my wax paper on. Okay, I'm going to, it's always better to have some kind of a background, because if your silicone hits the canvas first in this kind of a situation, you're going to have canvas showing through. So I've already sanded this and cleaned it, and I'm just laying a foundation. That's all that this whole thing I'm doing is. My last painting, I used too much black. Doesn't matter what kind of pattern you're laying out. Get as much on your edge as you can, because you're not going to want to do edges. You want to do that in the process of creating the painting. I'm wanting to make fire, and the way I pull this off, there's a good possibility I can do it. When I mix my colors, I drop a glass bead into it, and it seems to break up any chunks in my Flotroel. My previous videos have got my mixture, so I forgot to do it. A little more red. And because I've got yellow, I'm not going to use any more black. I've got plenty of paint on here. yellow and black make green. I don't know why, but it just seems to. And the way you pull the paper off, it's going to tell you usually what direction the paint's going to finish up as. My paper folded down before I was ready for it. What you see is not necessarily what you're going to get through the wax paper. But you can see enough to get your edges covered. And that little shifting that I'm doing to get these edges isn't, you got to be careful too. Your wax paper can break just like it did. I just want to make sure I got all my edges. I'm going to detour a lot of this paint from the center. Because of the previous painting, I could have 2, 3, 4 paintings underneath it. I'm not so sure. But it's already stiffened up your canvas so that if you've got a dip, every other painting on top is going to have that dip. Okay. Now, I'm going to pick it up from this side because I tore that side. Immediately lay your top sheet of wax paper on your other container. You're going to see cells developing. This is great for skins. Because it'll dry with all these cells. Now, if you remember, I told you that the yellow and the black tend to make green. And that's what I've got going here. I'm going to see if I can get some red right here. Because there's so much black. No, it isn't going to make a difference. We've got a lot of black here. Now, let's see what another piece of wax paper will do. This one I will throw away. You can see the cells coming up already. Okay, you can take a piece of this paper where there is color and you've got too much black, and you can lay it on here. It does work. Okay. You can fix it if you've got too much dark. Let me see. Yes. Now, I don't know if that decreased all my cells for this base, but I needed to fill in some spots. And that's the only way I know of doing it. Okay. Let's get the torch out. And see what we come up with. Right now, I'm killing air bubbles. It didn't hurt the cell situation. And those colors are bursting through. I'm getting closer and closer to the cell situation I'm looking for. But this is what I wanted on the canvas. But I dipped this a second time on one of the corners. But there's nice cells going on for a skin. You can straighten your wax paper out. Or when it dries, it'll be a little warped. This is turning. I'm really liking this. Yes. You got the feel, but there's still too much black. I'll keep trying. I would like to stretch some of these cells. Bring it back to the middle. And bring it back to the center. If you don't like it, you can always move it around. Okay. Y'all probably said that I should have left it alone. Maybe I should have. I'm taking my straw. You can manipulate with your straw wonky cells. If it don't seem right, do it all over again. Add more color. We can just get another piece of wax paper. Nothing's stopping you. What you see is not what's going to come out. I'm squeezing paint over the sides because I don't want a lot of paint buildup, because what it'll do is crack on me. Already done the sides. And let's see what we get this time. I would suggest that when you're doing this, raise your paper slowly. Because it's going to suck paint off your canvas. This is more what I wanted, yes. There we go. Awesome. I don't have another tray, but I like the way the first tray was. I'm not going to move it much. There's air involved in this. So we do need the torch just to get rid of the air bubbles. You can see cells making it. I think the first one I liked the best. there's a lot more green going on here with the black. Black is coming through. Okay, I'm done with it. I may torch it again. I'm pulling cells up with the heat. You don't have to use a torch. You can use a heat gun because all you're wanting to do is bring those cells up. Okay. Thank you for joining me. This is a keeper. So is my paper. Since I had more than one wax paper, I had to throw the other one because I had no tray available. But I love it. And there was only 2 colors that I had cells in. That was the orange and the red. The yellow and black, I was afraid if I put dimethcone in that, I was going to have a problem with the green. And there's a little bit of the green, but it just the yellow's prominent. Anyway, you have a good one. Thank you for joining me, and give me your message, comments, like, share, subscribe.